Hey guys, welcome back to Grounded Life Finances. Allie and Rob here, and today we are sharing with you the 5 secrets of full-time travel. We are starting out with a very important one, and this one is to plan by the month and not by the week. So one thing to keep in mind is that you're not on vacation. This isn't a vacation. This is your life. You're just moving from place to place, taking your life to different places. So it's important to be planning on staying for a longer amount of time. And one of the reasons actually that helped us to decide to do that is that we get you get a discount for 28 days if you're booking through Airbnb, and that really does make a huge difference financially and impacts your budget in a good way when you stay for longer chunks of time, right?
Yeah, we almost noticed that when we book an Airbnb, the price for 28 days or longer is the same price as it would be for 14 days. So I went ahead and looked, and we got a lot of comments on our one of our previous videos about Italy being so cheap, and so we do go to Italy quite often, and it is cheap to go there. So I went ahead and did a search for everyone just so you can see kind of what the budget would be. I gave myself the hardest possible place, which is Rome. And I put in parameters of under $1,500 a month. This is what it came up with. So we had 46 properties in Rome that you could get for under $1,500 for the month. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's amazing actually that you can get that many places. You have that many options. It's not like one or two little tiny places somewhere. It's a big pool of things to choose from, and that's a great price range for Rome, because honestly, depending on when you're coming, you could spend that much on just a week.
Yeah, easily.
Which is crazy.
And keep in mind, this does include everything. This is an Airbnb, so kind of like a hotel. It'll include your Wi-Fi, your water, your trash, your
electricity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it'd be great. The nice thing too, obviously, over staying at some place like an Airbnb over a hotel is that you have the option of cooking for yourself, because you don't really want to be, eating out all the time.
Yeah. So another benefit of staying over a hotel is you can choose many more places. Like there's rural cities that there aren't any hotels in that you could choose an Airbnb in. So I'm going to give you a little bit more for Italy. Just encompassing the entire country, you can easily do under $1,000. So I did this search here for under $1,000 for a month in Italy, and it returned over 1,000 properties to choose from.
Wow, that's crazy. That is a great thing, and we have taken great advantage of that. If you've seen our other videos here on Grounded Life Finances, we did share that in the 7 places you could stay. We talked about one of the places that we stayed at, and it's absolutely amazing that you can get places in Italy, which you would think to yourself would be so expensive, for under $1,000. It's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah. So when we go to Thailand, we usually stay in a pretty high-end place, which is why our budget is a little bit higher there. But if you didn't want to stay in the most ultra high-end place, I did a search for Thailand for everybody to just take a look. Easily, this search is $600 or less per month, and it's again over 1,000, which means you can drop it even further. And there's tons of amazing places for under $600.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many places. I think that's the thing about Thailand, specifically if you're looking at a bigger city like Bangkok. The pool to choose from is immense. There's so many places. I mean, just you're talking about hundreds of places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got to get this mindset where you're going to stay for a month and not for 2-3 days or a week, because if you do that, you're spending $100-$200 a night when you could be spending $600 a month on your place. So tip number 2 is to use repositioning cruises for travel.
Yes, and funny enough, we are filming this on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
If you can tell, we are in a cabin on a cruise ship right now. And we're actually spending, 45 days on cruise ships. So
the next 45 days. Yep.
Yes, and 2 of them are transatlantic crossings repositioning.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing, because we're not really going anywhere on those. We're just kind of going from the United States to Europe and then back to the United States. But they were so cheap that we decided just to do it. And if you've got the time, they're not that expensive, why not? So I again ran a little search query for people to see what is the cheapest long cruise you could get right now. I came up with these. First one is the MSC Splendida. I think that's how you say it. Anyway, it's a 27-night European cruise, $699 per person.
For 27 nights?
27 nights.
I'm surprised you didn't already book it for.
Already doing something that month. So now I will say, when you see those $699 prices, you know there's going to be port charges, taxes, fees, etc. So the total price, when all money is in, is going to be about $2,500 for the month. But that's still really good because it includes your food.
Yes. Think about the fact that that's your hotel, that is your transportation, that is your food, that is your entertainment. And it doesn't stop at a ton of places, but it does stop at some places. So you do get to get off the ship and go see some places and explore, you know, some new ports. So when you add up the cost of all of that for 27 days, for $2,500, that's really not bad at all.
Yeah, you can't stay in the United States and eat for that.
For 27 nights, it would cost you probably double that in the U.S.
Yeah, easily. So another one I came across, which was really nice, but it's happening 3 weeks from now, and we're going to be on a cruise ship already for the next 45 days, is the Cunard Queen Elizabeth. Now that's one we've always wanted to do. They're doing a month basically on that ship for $1,099 per person.
Yeah, when you mentioned that, I was like, too bad we're already on a cruise.
Yeah, so
because that is on our list of ships we want to be on.
A big way you can save money is if you look into these cruises, they'll not only get you to where you want to be, you don't have to fly, you save the money of your flights. You could easily drop $1,500 per couple just flying wherever they're going. So it's basically free. You know, by the time you add in the cost of the food, it's really a no-brainer just to do that. Next thing that you need to do is to have the right credit cards.
Yes, and we do talk a lot about credit cards also on this channel, and we've reviewed a lot of them, and we do have two that are likely the ones we use the most, probably our favorites. And what are those two?
Two favorites that we have for travel are the Amtrak card and the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Now, Amtrak card is because we travel a lot on Amtrak, so this will be specific to you if it works for you. But when we come home, we have family all over the United States, and that is how we visit them. We get a lot of those trips for free, right?
Yes, we do. It's really nice, and you get to travel in sleeper car accommodations, which makes it a lot better for us because we are usually going very long distances all the way across the country, from LA to Chicago to Atlanta, seeing friends in DC and New York. So Amtrak is really the best way to go for us. And because we're not in a hurry to get from place to place, it really does save us a lot of money to be able to use the Guest Rewards card.
And the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the greatness of that card is that you get 3% across the board on travel, 3 times points, I should say, and it does include Airbnb. So you're basically getting 3 times on all of your housing for the year. So imagine that. You're getting, if you spend $2,000 in a month or something, you get 6,000 points. You get a lot of points over the year, and that's just redeemed for even more great free stuff.
Right, you can use those points for so many different things. Not only can you use it just to pay the card, but you can also use it for, you know, booking air travel, for booking hotels. It's just, it really gives you a lot of versatility, that card. So those are basically the two that work best for us. Like I said, we do have a lot of reviews here on the channel, so just kind of look and see what works best for what your priorities are. Obviously, the Amtrak card won't be a good choice for someone who's not planning to travel by train, but check out all the details that we have on those right here on the channel, and we give you kind of a rundown of who the card is good for and, you know, what the best uses are.
Yeah, so there are also hotel cards that we have on the channel. For full-time travelers, though, we don't recommend those fully because we don't want you staying in hotels for long periods of time. Those are more for people who are not traveling full-time, which is what this video is about. So the next thing we need to talk about is maximizing your travel by using up your travel visa in each country. And it's important because I think a lot of people don't know each country. This is basically directed at U.S. travelers, although it's true of anyone. But we only know the rules for U.S. travelers because we're from the U.S. But you get a certain amount of days in each country, and when that time is up, you have to leave. And generally, you can just leave and come back later. But in some countries, it's not the case. So I'm going to give you an idea of some of our favorite countries, what it looks like, and go from there. So in Thailand, you get 30 days. And after that, you either have to renew or you have to leave the country. And then you can come back later on in the year, something like that. But you only get 30 days there. Vietnam is the same. You get 30 days. And then you have some countries like Malaysia where you're going to get more like 90 days.
Right. Or like Japan.
Japan, you're going to get longer. Colombia, you'll get 90 days. So you do have to kind of plan it out and figure out how much time you get in each country and how you can kind of string them together until you get a long-term visa somewhere. But you don't really want to do that until you've been doing this for many, many years and figure out exactly where you want to stay for, forever.
Yes, I mean, we've been doing this for 5 years and a little over 5 years, and we do have, obviously, favorites, but we still haven't decided on doing a long-term visa in those countries because we still enjoy the moving around from place to place, and still there's so much more to see for us, so we do it that way. But really just whatever works for you. Some people just travel until they find some place that they love and then get a long-term visa, but definitely when you're first trying to figure out where to get that long-term visa, maximize your travel visa in each country so that you end up saving quite a bit of money if you're not moving around as much as often.
Yeah. Another thing that we need to point out here is to utilize low season to your advantage. I like to say it's always low season somewhere. So low season just means less people and less money. And why wouldn't you want that? And in most places, it doesn't necessarily mean it's worse. It could be cooler. It could be better. The seasons generally coincide with when most people go, which usually coincides with school travel. So if you're not in school, which you're not if you're doing this video, why would you go during high season? You're just going to pay more for more crowds, and you'll save at least half the price of whatever you're doing if you go during low season.
Yeah, definitely. And we did this actually when we were raising our family and we were fitting in. We always prioritized travel over many things. And one of the ways that we could do that is by utilizing low season to travel, because you do get so much more for your money when you go either, shoulder season or low season or whatever. And like you said, there's always some advantage. Other than the fact that there's not as many people there, there's always some good advantages to those. So you definitely want to utilize that to your advantage.
And this is big if you're in the United States, especially because there's a huge difference in the seasons there. We recently went to Myrtle Beach, stayed for 2 months, right on the beach, 2-bedroom condo overlooking the ocean. And it was about $1,900 a month, which is pretty good for the United States. During we went over Christmas, so we went December and January. And if we were to do that in the summer, those prices are about $7,000 to $8,000 a month. So that's not doable.
Pretty big savings
for the month, because in those seasons they're looking to rent those places out to people who are staying for just a week, their spring break. You can't compete with what people are willing to pay for spring break, what you're going to pay for the whole month. So generally it goes with weather. It'll be a little bit cooler if you go on low season in most countries, but some countries the temperature doesn't really change.
Right, the temperature just kind of stays pretty consistent. So guys, these are our 5 secrets, 5 top tips for full-time travel. Hopefully this is helpful to you if you're preparing to head in that direction. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more information like that. If you have questions about these tips, secrets, go ahead and leave those for us in the comments below. Give us a like in this video, and we'll see you next time.